Good afternoon. This is Sunshine Reports. My name is Timilei Faladi. Although state government says an educated, healthy and productive population is essential to reducing poverty and achieving sustainable economic growth and development, Deputy Governor Lucky Ayedatiwa made the remark at the maiden edition of a State Human Capital Development Steering Committee meeting held at its office in Akure. The report. Consequent upon the inauguration of a Steering and Technical Committee of Human Capital Development Program by Governor Rotimi Akeredolu, the committee held its maiden meeting to improve the indices and recommend policies and programs. The Human Capital Development Program focuses on 3 thematic areas, which are health and nutrition, education, and labor force participation. In his remark, the Deputy Governor, who is also the chairman of the steering committee, Lucky Ayedatiwa, thanked the technical committee for deliberating on strategies to quickly produce the State Human Capital Development Work Plan.
Much has been done. I want to thank the technical committee for taking up so early to have put a lot of work in place. Like he was telling us all that he has done and the next thing that needs to be done. Most of the work has been done. What we have to do here is to actually consider this work that has been done by the technical committee, consider them, make contribution if there is any.
Ayedatiwa said the administration of Governor Akeredolu is focused on improving the human capital development of its citizens for inclusive governance.
A lot of work is on our hand, but we have started well. The objective really is to have a healthy, educated, and productive citizen. And we know that human development capital is critical to poverty alleviation and citizen participation and economic growth and development in any nation.
Speaking to journalists after the meeting, the Vice Chairman and Commissioner for Economic Planning and Budget, Pastor Emmanuel Igbason, said the committee is mapping out strategies to address the 3 thematic areas of concentration. Pastor Igbason said the draft will be reviewed and a strategic paper produced to address poor indicators of human capital development.
We interrogated the paper. The overarching objective of that strategy is for us to have a well-educated, functional, productive, and progressive and prosperous citizens in Ondo State.
It is expected that the Human Capital Development Program will improve basic areas of human development, including the education and health sector. Although State House of Assembly says it will continue to enhance easy access to justice by providing alternative mechanisms to complement litigation and the resolution of disputes, at a public hearing held on a bill for a law to provide for the establishment of a state multi-door courthouse, the Chairman, House Committee on Judiciary, Mr. Success Sorukerijo, opined that the bill will assist in the dispensation of justice in Ondo State. Omoshiliola Adesuya Ajayi completes the story.
The multi-door courthouse provides citizens with easy access to justice, reduce delay in justice delivery, and provide links to related services, making more options available through which disputes can be resolved. And gathered here are members of the judiciary and relevant stakeholders to meet minds on the bill with a view to have robust outcome that will serve the interest of the citizens. Speaker of the House, Bamidele Oleyelogun, urged them to feel free to ventilate their options with a view to further strengthen the judicial system of the state. The Chairman, House Committee on Judiciary, Mr. Success Sorukerijo, who said the bill, when passed into law, will fast-track dispensation of justice in the state, promised that the lawmakers will do justice to the bill for the betterment of the judiciary and the people of the state.
Sure that we're able to do justice to this law and this bill, and as soon as we go through this exercise, we just go ahead to pass it into law. become a law of the state for the benefit of the people of Ondo State. We are going to do justice, and in a very short while, we'll get through with it, and with the cooperation of Mr. Speaker and other members of the House of Assembly, become a living law in Ondo State.
Other stakeholders expressed belief that the bill will enhance easy access to justice by providing alternative mechanism to supplement litigation in the resolution of disputes.
We look at the bill page by page and that clause after clause, so that we'll be able to find out any area we feel is at variance with the constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. More so, if there's any innovation that can propel the dynamic of this law.
They observed that it will serve as the focal point for the promotion of the growth and effective function of judicial system through alternative dispute resolution methods. Omoshiliola Adesoye Ajayi, Osrc News.
The governor of Ondo State, Rotimi Akeredolu, has urged traditional rulers in the state to use powers of customs and traditions towards surmounting the challenges of insecurity bedeviling the state and the people. Governor Akeredolu, while inaugurating members of the State Council of Obas under the chairmanship of the Deji of Akure, Oba Alade Toyinbo Aladelusi, acknowledged the important functions of the royal fathers and their commitment to the traditional roles. The governor applauded the immediate past members of the council for supporting his administration towards redefining governance in the state. Government House correspondent Wahab Ankole reports that the governor also had an interactive session with the royal fathers.
The setting was the International Culture and Event Center, the Dome in Akure, as traditional rulers in the state were joined by top government functionaries led by Governor Rotimi Akeredolu and the public for the inauguration of new members of the State Council of Obas under the chairmanship of Deji of Akure, Oba Aladelusi Aladetoyinbo. The Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, Mr. Akinwumi Showore, congratulated the Obas on the occasion and appreciated the passion of Governor Akeredolu for maintaining neutrality and promoting due process in the selection of traditional rulers in the state.
I therefore employ our royal fathers to maximize this opportunity to rub minds with Mr. Governor on issues that can bring an entrenched peace in our dear state, as well as promote mutual cordiality between the government and the Obas.
Governor Akeredolu, who congratulated the new chairman and other royal fathers who are rotational members of the council, highlighted the functions of traditional rulers in society. The governor challenged the royal fathers to use the powers of customs and traditions towards protecting the lives and property of residents of the state.
I believe that the provision of the Chief Law of 1984 under Part 5, Section 33 should be amended. You have the right individually, collectively, to advise the governor on any matter relating to customary law, cultural affairs, intercommunal relationship, and chieftaincy matters.
While acknowledging the important functions of the royal fathers and their commitment to traditional roles, the governor applauded the immediate past members of the council for supporting his administration towards redefining governance in the state. Akeredolu charged the new members to redouble efforts at promoting impactful governance in the state. He appealed to the monarchs to desist from encouraging people from taking over government lands and forest reserves for personal use, and solicited more cooperation for his administration in a strong bid to advance every sector of the state's economy towards promoting its economic prosperity.
We have challenges, and we need our Obas to be overdoing. There is no town here that we don't have APC member. is under you. You have PDP member, is under you. You have SDP, they are under you. So why will I now bring you into unnecessary politicking? I will try as much as possible not to do that.
The new chairman, Oba Aladetoyinbo, thanked the governor for the opportunity, which I promised to justify the confidence reposed in him and other members.
We still have the power. We still have the ability to carry out what the governor was saying earlier. As from today, they will see our impact.
The new leadership will pilot the affairs of the council for the next 2 years. The event was climaxed with an interactive session involving the governor and members of the State Executive Council, as well as the royal fathers. From the International Culture and Event Center, the Dome in Akure, Wahab Bankoli, Osrc News.
The chairman of Osrc Media Group, Mr. Kunle Adebayo, says all is set to relocate Orange 94.5 FM to the headquarters of a media organization at Orita-Obele in Akure. The chairman said the decision is to make the media group function optimally in the face of economic realities. Our reporter, Joy Pius, now completes the story.
The challenge confronting public and private organizations globally, and particularly Nigeria, is the surging price of diesel. This has caused many businesses and organizations to fold up and many others to downsize. Ondo State Road Division Corporation is not spared by this global crisis, as its operations have been affected in recent times. Rising to the challenge, the management of the State Media Group moved towards solving the issues to ensure quality and uninterrupted service is delivered to the people.
Roughly something going to about 40 million.
Staff of Osrc Media Group, which comprises of Orange 94.5 FM, Sunshine 96.5 FM, Alalaye, and Osrc Television, converged on the headquarters at Orita-Obele to exchange views with the top management on ways to enhance its service delivery in the face of the current economic meltdown in the country. Speaking on the urgency of the decision, Chairman of the Media Group, Mr. Kunle Adebayo, explained that the 3 stations would be housed at the Orita-Obele headquarters for more efficient operations at the respective channels. Mr. Adebayo said approval has been given for the harmonization of the 3 operational structures in place for greater benefit of the people of Ondo State.
What we are doing is not just about relocation of Orange FM. What we are also doing is about strengthening the capacity of Alalaye FM. Even though what government has approved for us is the relocation of Orange FM to this place. But what management has also done is to struggle and work hard within a very tight schedule to also strengthen the existing Alalaye FM. Therefore, as Orange FM would be coming here, Alalaye FM would also have the studio removed from where it is. Alalaye FM studio will now be in this complex.
The chairman therefore enjoined staff of the 3 arms to hone the argument for better understanding.
I urge you professionals who are here at the highest level and their subordinates to please understand what this government is trying to do. Understand what this management is trying to say.
The Director, Engineering Services Department, OSRC, Mr. Femi Ayekomilobon, who spoke on the advantages of bringing the stations together in terms of making content sharing an easy task, explained the new mechanisms to be deployed in the merger.
Having different stations in different locations is something that is quite expensive to manage these days, especially when you now place it vis-a-vis with the cost of power, which is already skyrocketing. We thought that the best thing that we can do now to reduce the running cost of this station is to co-locate them. When we co-locate, it reduces the cost of running power, generating power to run the station. It reduces the cost, even helps in the manpower welfare.
Staff present at the meeting commended the initiative with a belief that it will aid effective and efficient service delivery.
It's important that we cut costs so that we have more resources to actually do a lot of things. Secondly, it's also important that we make our operations seamless.
The issue of multitasking, it means that all our staff, both at the Orange, the television and Alalaye, will be able to work hand in hand.
The OSRC Media Group has been undergoing a series of transformations since the inception of the current administration, and with the new development, the Media Group is poised to break new grounds.
The Ondo State Head of Service, Mr. Adeniro Adeyemo, has cautioned civil servants in the state against partisan politics. Pastor Adeyemo spoke in Akure while inaugurating executive members of the State Senior Staff Club. Our reporter, Tolulokpo Oyebode, completes the story.
The head of service, while inaugurating the new executives, advised them to mobilize their members for higher patronage of the clubhouse towards socialization and inclusiveness of more senior staff in the state civil service. Adeyemo enjoined them to make the place a more conducive relaxation center for members after each day's work, as well as a strategic place to share experiences and synergize for excellent service delivery to the people of the state. The head of service congratulated the outgoing executives led by its president, Mr. Ologun Oluwatuyi, for their achievements in the last 3 years.
A very reasonable environment, very secure environment, where you talk to like minds, not where you meet gutter people and others. So I just want to encourage you, please, don't allow every talk they can hurry to come without problems. It's mainly for senior civil servants and possibly their guests. So we must not, some people will not want to come again because of the kind of people in media and languages. That's what's driving some people away. Let us secure the place. And I appreciate what you have done too in terms of improvement during this your 6-year tenure.
In his inaugural speech, the newly elected president of the club, Dr. Olayemi Olaniyi, pledged to galvanize the unique gifts of his team and non-executive members to lift the club to an enviable height it deserves.
The cooperation of the head of service and the head of the PS service matter for assisting us without intervention. The head of service, when we had some interaction with him, he promised that he had no candidate, that is for everybody and is for nobody.
The new president expressed his gratitude to the grand patron of the club, Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu, for the usual support at repositioning the state's public service. Tolulokpo Oyebode, OSRC News.
Residents of Akure, Ondo State capital, have continued to appeal to government to make thorough the clearing of bushy median in the state capital, as some areas still need attention. Joy Piles, who was in town to assess the situation, reports that residents in areas yet to be attended to are hopeful for a speedy intervention from relevant government agencies.
Following months of neglect of the bushy medians along major roads in Akure, the Ondo State capital, residents expressed displeasure over the development which they say is not palatable for the state capital. OSRC in its previous reports spotlighted the unkempt median which spurred the Ministry of Environment, saddled with the responsibility to commence clearing of the affected areas. Some sections of the medians across the state capital, which were overgrown with weeds posing threats to pedestrians, have been cleared. However, other areas are still left unattended to. From the Cathedral axis down to Ondo Road, residents are hopeful of government attention.
Looking at the condition of Akure as a whole, especially this area, Ishikon areas,
This place is not good enough. It's not looking attractive, and I see that some areas they have been cleared, like the bushes. We want to beg our governor Arakunrin Akeredolu to help us clear this area, most especially because if we want to cross the road now, we'll be scared.
That before all this, they used to plant a flower to decorate the street, not all these woods. So we appeal to the government, to state government, to help us the environmental, to help us to clear the weeds because it's very bad in the street. This is a state capital.
They neglected this place on court in the town, in the capital. It's very, very uncalled for.
It's dirty. It's unkept. We are supposed to live in a clean environment, clean and healthy environment.
Igbó ìwọ̀nyí náà kan bá wa ṣí ọ̀nà àtúbọ̀ máa dì wọ́n mú wọ́n bá ṣe gbẹ kó dúró dáadáa. Tá a bá fẹ́ cross bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn a máa ń bẹ̀rù ní pé ejò lè wà lábẹ́ grass yẹn kéèyàn má mọ̀. Kán bá wa gé àárín ìlú láwa àsí lábúlé.
The general expectation is for the grasses to be well maintained as part of efforts to beautify the landscape of a state capital, and if not wholly attended to, could rob the state of its urban renewal program. Joy Pius, OSRC News.
Now, blocked drainages in some parts of Akure, the state capital, is giving residents grave concern. Aside altering free flow of water, the situation is having telling effects on roads. In this report, again, Joy Pius takes a look at state of drainage in Akure and the efforts of the state government in it.
One of the worst natural calamities that occurs in the world is flooding, and every year, floods affect many parts of Nigeria, including Ondo State, causing devastating effects on residents and damaging properties worth millions. One of the causes identified for flooding in Ondo State is blocked drainages. At Airways in Akure along Ilesha Motor Park, residents who bemoan the rate at which the road is flooded whenever it rains said it is often the cause of accidents along the route. The resultant effect of this is equally the failing portion of the road.
Sometimes there are even days that this thing leads to accidents here. That, people are fighting themselves and say, hey, you cause it, I cause it, this and that, because they want to dodge the water. So we need an emergency intervention.
Ayedun and Yala areas of Akure are not equally insulated from the crisis. Residents said many have deserted their places of abode for safety due to flooding, which they hinged on blocked drainages in the area.
Omi ó ń dà wá láàmú ó ti pọ̀ jù, especially ẹ̀yìn àlà ní ọlọ́gẹ̀dẹ̀ ní ọ̀hún ẹ̀mí yẹn ń dà wá láàmú too much. Táwọn yẹn bá ti ń lọ wọn ìrọ̀nà kọjá tí mọ́tò bá fẹ́ wọlé gan kò sí ọ̀nà.
They therefore appealed to the government to help find a lasting solution to the problem of drain blockage, which they say is a panacea to ending flooding in the area.
Most of the houses here cannot be inhabited by people. They have vacated their places. So that is as bad as that. So, but the suggestion or what I can make or I can tell is now the community is looking for government help to come to their aid and have a government impact in this place.
The drainage that leads the water to the direction where the water should flow has been blocked. What the government needs to do is that they need to open this blockage and remove all the either nylons and all the dirties inside it.
Meanwhile, the Ondo State Project Coordinator, Nigeria Erosion and Watershed Management Project, NUMA, said efforts are in place to ensure erosion control in the state. Engineer Marcus Adewodun hinted that the state government is not relenting at combating flooding in prone areas of the state.
The policy of government is there that you dispose your waste properly. We need to reorientate our people. We need to educate them. Continuous advocacy, telling them what to do and how to do it. I think those problems will be abated.
It keeps raining and perhaps heavily till later in the year. Residents' contributions to flood triggers will determine how much of sleep the populace will enjoy during this season. Joy Pius, OSRC News.
And with that report, we conclude Sunshine Reports this afternoon. Thank you so much for watching.